I said I wasn't going to do a video on Wednesday this week, but here I am. I got struck with an idea that I just wanted to kind of chat casually about. So if you need something to listen to while you're making a pie, hello, here I am. So this morning when I got up, I was thinking about the direction for the channel in 2025. When I started this channel, I made myself a rule that I was going to do whatever struck my fancy for the first year. That would let me experiment freely and not feel too much pressure to be a certain thing. I did a little bit of research on how to have a successful YouTube channel, but I also thought I'm not going to pin down my channel in the very first year because I don't know what this channel is going to exactly be yet. I just started it. But now it's been 10 months and I'm starting to get a feeling for what this channel is. I was doing some analysis of what videos had been the most successful and what videos had been the least successful and what people seem to respond to the most and what I actually enjoy the most, blah-de-blah. So I started thinking I'm going to make a list of topics for 2025. And then I also asked my Discord server if there was anything that they wanted to see in 2025. And that led to a very interesting discussion on YouTube algorithms and what direction I want to take the channel. So if you find this kind of thing interesting, this is what I came to and why. If I look at what videos were the most successful for me in the past year, it was 8 Severe Steps to a Frugal Creative Life. I wrote 40 books in 4 years. Here's what I learned. I wrote 40 books in 4 years, part 2, my best productivity tips. The You Should Write Self-Indulgent Trash video that I just came out with. How much I made in self-publishing in 8 years. I've been a fantasy and romance novelist for 20 years. Here's what I've learned, and starting over as a YouTuber in my 40s. Some of the videos that did the worst were specific craft topics, world building, specific lists of book recommendations, videos where I talk about my fantasy world, which obviously that's pretty niche, but I do enjoy those a lot. And when I was talking to my Discord people, they said that they like to see craft videos, and a lot of you have asked for craft videos, but whenever I release one, it doesn't really do very well. And I've been thinking about this, and I've realized that the way the YouTube algorithm works is, you need to find a niche. You need to figure out what you are, and I don't think there's a creator out there who doesn't get frustrated at this, but if you do want to make a living as a YouTuber, you can't ignore it. I didn't think I would be making my living as a YouTuber in the first year, and I didn't, but I got closer than I expected, and that shifted the decisions that I made throughout the year. I thought that I was going to keep writing my sexy fairy tale paranormal romance books kind of on the side, and I was only going to do one YouTube video a week. But YouTube ended up doing so well that I ended up making a lot more YouTube videos and not writing any of the paranormal romance. Therefore, I kind of committed to YouTube as the thing. So now that the year is coming to an end, I need to start thinking about that algorithm and how to please it. And I've even noticed, because Data subscribed to my channel, and when my videos were doing well, my premieres and new videos would always pop up on his YouTube feed. And then when I did a string of unpopular videos, I started to disappear, even though he faithfully watches every one of my videos right when it premieres. So I can only imagine that this happens on a lot of people's feeds, and that if I don't keep giving something that appeals to a broader audience, YouTube will start to hide the videos. And I noticed this with people I subscribe to as well, that sometimes I'll suddenly remember I'm subscribed to that person and I haven't seen a video from them in a while, and then I'll go look at my subscriptions and catch up on a bunch of videos that the algorithm didn't show me. So one of the things that I was surmising was that my first thought when I started this channel is that I wanted to talk about the creative life more than I wanted to talk about writing craft, because I felt like it's a broader topic and one that I felt was a little bit lacking when I got on YouTube, that I was struggling to find writer channels that resonated with me, someone who's been writing professionally for a long time. I don't really need basic craft advice anymore, but I can always watch a video that reminds me why I'm doing this emotionally and how to hang in there when I'm having a bad day. So I wanted that to be the first thing that I focused on, is videos that talked more about the emotional and the psychological side of being a writer and like a creative person in general. As well as like when I talk about craft, I try to think about things that I feel like only I could tell you this because of the particular experience I've had throughout my life. There's videos I could make about craft that are just kind of basic rules of craft or marketing, or like how to choose your self-publishing methods, you know, basics, nuts and bolts stuff of publishing and writing. And I can make those videos, but other people have already made them as well. And my advice probably wouldn't be that different because they're just kind of, that's how you do it. And I totally get that there will be people that want to hear it from me because you like my channel, you like my vibe maybe, and I definitely get that. But YouTube does not like it when I tell you that stuff. And the reason why I think that is because the videos that I made that appealed to the most people were topics that went beyond like writing craft. So the way I was explaining it to my Patreons is that I watch a lot of channels by artists, and I love watching when they talk about like why they became an artist, how they struggle with failure, how they manage their finances, and like cozy vlogs of their day, painting, how they manage their time, because all of those things are so universal to being a creative person, and in some cases like even almost any human being, that they're just either relaxing or thoughtful, etc. But if they do a video that's like, I'm making a craft, here's how to do this watercolor technique, I don't watch those because I'm not trying to be an artist or a craftsy person right now. That is like a how-to versus a artist life channel. So my channel has been more of like a writing life channel, and then I've also done some how-to videos. But because YouTube thinks I'm a writing life channel, they get confused when I do a how-to. So now when I'm planning out next year, I'm thinking that I'm pretty much going to keep that question in my mind of, would someone who is not necessarily a writer still click on this video because it has something else that has an appeal beyond just a, how do you do this writing thing? Come be cute. Come be cute. Oh. Yeah. Just such a little nuzzler. Oh my gosh, so many cats. So I'll probably talk about this more when I actually hit the 1 year anniversary of the channel, because a couple of videos I want to do are definitely about like the 1 year recap, but I am planning on getting a little more focused on that like creative life channel going forward. And that also doesn't mean that you can't have a writing craft channel that would do well. There already are some that do very well, and that's why I've also done craft videos. I like talking about craft, and I still will have some videos on the writing craft. I'm just gonna think about strategically about which ones make the most sense. I mean, I might be wrong about what I do, because you never know. I would never have guessed the self-indulgent trash video was going to be so popular. Sometimes it's really hard to predict. But that's the basic question that I'm going to ask myself. Would like an artist or a musician or someone who has been writing books for 40 years, would all these people find the topic interesting, but it would still tie into my personal writing career? So that's where I'm thinking That's where I'm thinking I'm going to go. That ended up being really hard to say, with the channel in 2025. And I'm also probably just gonna stick to doing videos on Sundays, because there's some like more long deep dive videos that I really want to do that are just impossible to do when you're doing 2 a week. But I probably will still throw in extra videos here and there, because sometimes like when I'm making this video, I just get an idea for a topic that I just want to chat about and just start making it. But as far as like keeping to some kind of schedule, I'm going to stick to Sundays for my like official video. And then I'm probably going to start putting the craft videos on Patreon. I've been doing one video a month on Patreon, but I'm going to try to do like 2 craft or whatever. I usually let people vote on it, but it usually is some kind of craft topic. Like I've done one on romance writing, one on how you select a cover, all kinds of topics. So I'll probably keep letting people suggest them, and I'll just pull from suggestions I get from people on Patreon. And if they don't have any suggestions for the month, I have plenty of other suggestions I've written down from various videos. And I really do like to help people with craft. But as far as the YouTube channel goes, they are just not getting the views that they need to get. And in fact, they're hurting the channel. So, such is life. But it's been a lot of fun thinking about all the things that I do want to do. I feel like vlogs have done pretty well. They're not like usually viral powerhouses, but I feel like they're just fun to make, fun to talk about. It's fun to show little bits of my life and talk about my books. So I'm going to keep trying to do those consistently. And then other than that, try to do topics that have like pretty broad appeal, but are related to the creative life. I have a couple of ideas that I'm really looking forward to. I really hope that they do well as a series. Like, one of the things that I really want to do is a series of videos where I go through like a writer's letters or diaries, memoir, essays, whatever like personal thing they wrote about their life, and kind of wrap it all up into like a deep dive into what I took away from their personal writings, because I've had so much fun doing that with Ella Montgomery's novels and diaries in conjunction, and I really have been wishing that I had time to reread all her diaries and get like the expanded versions of them and all of that. Because I have been comforting a lot of stressed out friends lately. And one of the things that I think has kept me on somewhat of an emotional even keel throughout my life, I mean, when I am on an emotional even keel, which is not always, but at times when I feel like the thing that centers me is often what I've read in people's memoirs and diaries, because it just keeps reminding me how fear, grief, tragedy, personal loss, all of those things have happened throughout history, and everyone has had to cope with bad things in their life, sometimes just absolutely devastating lives. But there's also like some real wisdom in there. So I think that would be a great series to do in the new year. So that's one that I'm really hoping to do, is go through some different writer letters, and plus it gives me an excuse to buy some collections of letters that I've been wanting to buy. And I've been wanting to do more deep dives on some of my favorite like works of fantasy, and along with a lot of the sort of topics I've already been doing, some, you know, like writer finances, stuff that is just hopefully kind of generally motivating. And I think that's about all I have to say about that. I just thought that you guys might find it interesting to get a little behind the scenes in my thought process with this, and some of the things I'm thinking and why I'm thinking them. I wanted to just like explain to you a little bit what I've learned about how the algorithm works over the last year. And I'd also love to hear from all of you in general. If there's anything that you would really love to see from me, depending on what it is, some of it might go on the Patreon, some of it might go on the channel, but I've gotten some great ideas for videos from you guys. If you have like a really good clickbait title already queued up, like bonus points for that. But even when, like, just the other day, somebody left me a comment like, I just published my book. I got a terrible review for the first review. How do you cope with that? And I'm like, oh, that is a great idea for a video that I have not thought of, but I have gotten that bad review as the first review more than once. It's terrible. So, and also like everybody's had that moment somewhere in life. So that's a video I definitely want to do. That was like just a brand new suggestion tossed out there that I think a lot of people will be able to relate to. So yeah, if you have any thoughts for the channel in 2025, let me know. I hope you enjoyed this little chit chat. I hope that if you're celebrating Thanksgiving, you have a wonderful feast. I am not even really doing anything. My parents and my sister are going to Greenville, South Carolina to my aunt and uncle's house, and I would love to be there, but the drive is just kind of far for us. Dade tends to fall asleep while he's driving if he's kind of tired or eaten a lot. So we'd have to stay the night and leave the cats, and I just like, I don't have it in me right now emotionally to leave the cats for a night after the autumn we've had. Then they were going to have like a local Thanksgiving, but the details kind of keep changing and being vague. And today is Monday as I film this, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go to the grocery store on Wednesday if I find out that the local Thanksgiving isn't happening. So I'm just going to grab me a couple of turkey thighs and some ready-made stuffing and some ready-made pies and a bag of green bean casserole from Aldi. And it's going to be like the most half-assed Thanksgiving I have ever had. And right now, I don't hate that. I have a lot I want to do other than making fancy Thanksgiving. But nevertheless, I hope that your meal is better than that. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.